We're all starting from zero. We're all born and brought into this world in the same manner. We're innocent. We dream. We believe in the life that has been gifted to us, and we're free to use our imagination. And remember, when we were little, we used to use that imagination to its fullest. We played with our friends and our siblings, and we always dreamt about how amazing our lives were going to become when we got older. We dreamt about becoming cops and firefighters, doctors, lawyers, and we didn't just dream it. We actually believed it. To our younger selves, they felt like they were inevitable. They almost felt like they had already happened. But then life happened. As we grew up, life just threw wrenches in our gears, and as soon as we graduated from high school, then life got real, and we were exposed to adulting for the first time. We started working minimum wage jobs, and those dreams that we once had, they just seemed to fade away. Many of us were beaten down by a world that told us to be realistic and to give up on our dreams because that's all they were, dreams. And to make things worse, we surrounded ourselves with people who validated our struggles instead of challenging them. But here's the truth, that mindset, it has sent us down a dark, damaging path. When we refuse to take accountability for where we're at in our lives, we are choosing to stay stuck in that rut that we dug for ourselves, and that's leading us to be stuck. And if you're honest with yourself right now, that's not where you want to be. And there is a catch to that too, and it's that the catch is it's not that easy. The poor situations that we constantly find ourselves stuck in, whether it's a poor financial situation, it's a broken relationship, or a career that just hasn't gone our way. All of those things, they require the same thing, and that's taking extreme ownership. Think about it this way, if you are stuck in an extremely tough spot in your life, how can you possibly think that it's not going to take or require extreme action to get out of that spot? You've spent your entire life digging that rut. You've built those walls brick by brick and choice by choice. And now you expect that one day you're going to wake up and you're just going to magically rise out of it, but that's not at all how it works. If you want extreme results, it is going to require extreme action on your part. Welcome back to another episode of Sweat Talk. My name is Chad, and here's the brutal honesty about extreme ownership is that it is extremely uncomfortable. It forces you to take a long, hard look in the mirror and confront yourself. It's easy to point a finger and blame your boss or your parents or even society. But I want to ask you something, and I want you to think about this. Has that ever done anything for you? Blaming others is a way of coping. It's a way of avoiding the reality of the choices that you've made, and in coping, it does not fix your problems. You are in the driver's seat of your life, whether you like it or not. And if you've driven yourself into a ditch, it's your responsibility to get yourself back on the road. And I believe that the moment that you accept that, everything is going to change. You stop wasting time blaming external factors and circumstances for your situation. And then you start focusing on what you can control, and that's your choices and your actions and your mindset. The first step to taking extreme ownership is owning your past. Every mistake you've made, every opportunity that you've missed, and every single habit that you've created. It's time to take responsibility for all of it. And this isn't about filling yourself up with guilt or wallowing in self-pity. It's simply about recognizing that the choices that you've made to this point in your life are exactly what got you to where you are at this very moment. And if you are where you want to be, good. And if you're not where you want to be, good. Because at least now you know exactly where you are. You know what your starting point is at this time. When you own your past, you're going to be able to take away the power that it has over you. You stop becoming a victim of circumstances, and you actually start becoming the architect of your life. And owning your past, it doesn't mean dwelling in it. It means recognizing it. So ask yourself, what decisions have I made that have brought me to where I am right now? What patterns do I need to break? What lessons can I learn from this and keep moving forward? Second step is owning your present. Where are you right now? Are you overweight? Are you broke? Are you lonely? Are you depressed? Whatever it is, just own it. Stop making excuses and stop blaming external factors and circumstances. Look at yourself and say, this is where I'm at. This is my responsibility, and this is on me. And when you do that, something incredible is going to happen. You recognize that you are responsible for your problems, and you also realize that you're responsible for solving them. And I think this is where most people get stuck. They think to themselves that they don't have the power or the energy to fix or to better their situation. But here's the truth, and that's just a story that you tell yourself. Because the reality is, you do have the power. You just haven't tapped into it yet. I think step 3 to owning your future, this is where the real work begins. Owning your future, it means setting goals and taking consistent, disciplined action in order to be able to achieve them. It means making sacrifices and staying focused and refusing to quit even when things get hard. Here's the key: you don't need to fix everything overnight. Just start small. Start with one habit, one decision, and one action. If you're overweight, stop drinking soda. Put down all those sugary drinks. If you're broke, start investing or saving $1 a day. If you're depressed, start by going out and taking a 10-minute walk every day to clear your mind. In the beginning, these small steps, when I say it or when you're watching this video, they may seem like they're insignificant, but they're actually not. They're extremely important to being able to build up the confidence that you need in order to tackle bigger challenges. Most people, they don't take responsibility or hold themselves accountable because it's hard. It's hard to look at yourself in the mirror and accept that you are where you are because of the choices that you've made. It's hard to admit that you are responsible for your problems. It's hard to face your flaws and your weaknesses. But, nobody ever said it's going to be easy, and if they did, they're lying to you. Changing your life, it's going to be hard. But here's the thing, what is harder? Living a life of regret or the work that it's going to require to be able to build the life that you're proud of? When you avoid ownership, you are choosing the path of least resistance, but the problem is that path, it leads to absolutely nowhere. It keeps you stuck in the cycle of frustration and disappointment and mediocrity. Taking ownership, it might be the more difficult path, but it's the only path that is going to lead to growth and fulfillment. I think something that a lot of people don't realize is the fact that the responsibility actually is power. Hello. When you take responsibility of your life, you take back your power and you stop being a victim of your own circumstances. You stop sitting around and waiting for somebody else to save you. You realize that you have the power and you have the ability to change your life, and no matter how bad things have gotten. This isn't just some motivational BS. This is fact. And every single successful person who you admire, at some point in their lives, they have had to take extreme ownership of their situation. They've embraced responsibility even when it was uncomfortable. I firmly believe that if they can do it, we can do it too. You can do it. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to a choice. You can choose to keep blaming others, make up excuses, and stay stuck, or you can choose to take extreme ownership and build the life that you want. It won't be easy, it won't be quick, but it will be worth it. So here's a little bit of perspective. You have spent your entire life digging the rut that you are in. Getting yourself out of that rut, it is not going to be fast, it is not going to be as easy, but the longer that you stay where you are, the deeper and harder it's going to become to get out of that rut. Start today. Take extreme ownership of your past, your present, and your future. Stop sitting around and waiting for some miracle to just show up and fall in your lap. Just become the change that you want to see in your life, because your life depends on it. So I guess the question I'm going to leave you with is, are you ready to take ownership? So if you made it this far, do me a favor and go down in the comments section and write the words, own it. Just those 2 words, own it. We have to own it. We have to own up to the fact that it is not my boss's fault that I work for him. It is not my boss's or the corporation that I work for. It's not their fault that I work for them. At one point in time, you had to make the choice to go there. You had to make the choice to work there. And remember, there was once a time where you were actually excited to get that job to begin with. If you're lonely, it is not the opposite gender's fault that you are lonely. It is not the opposite sex's fault that that you cannot find a date. If you're struggling in your career, or if you feel like you can't get ahead, it is not your gender, it is not your race, it is nothing but you. It is the limitations and the beliefs that you keep telling yourself, because you're not willing to own it. You're not willing to own your part in your life and in your situation. You know, you can get mad at me and you can go in the comments and write a nasty message. I don't care. It's not going to change my perspective, and I'm not going to change my perspective. I call things how I see it. And a lot of people, they don't like that, but I'm okay with that. I will go to sleep tonight just fine. All I'm here to do is offer my perspective and offer what has worked for me, what I have found works for me in my life, to be able to achieve the success that I've seen, that I have realized, and be able to live the life of my dreams. You know, and it wasn't easy. Life has not been easy. Life is not easy. But we all have to get up. We all have to put our shoes on, and we have to put one foot in front of the other and keep moving forward. I want to thank you guys for those super thanks that you guys keep giving me. It truly is amazing. I appreciate your generosity. I appreciate all of the support that you guys are giving me. You seriously overwhelm me every day. But I ask for those one-word comments, or in this situation, this circumstance, two-word comments, because it helps us reprogram our minds to see something positive out of, and get something positive out of everything. Because it's not easy to talk about difficult topics and situations, and actually negative situations, negative mindsets. And it's not easy to do that and actually be able to display or portray a positive message with it. So in the end, when we see these things over and over and over, when we repeatedly do something and see and experience and feel something, then it's going to reprogram our subconscious mind, either good or bad. And in this circumstance, with these videos, I'm only aiming for good. And the second thing it does is it also helps out the algorithm push this content out to more people. Because every time somebody likes and comments and subscribes, then the algorithms, they're going to be happy and appeased, which is in turn going to push it out to more people who might find value in this content as well. And that is also going to help the channel grow. So I want to thank you guys for showing up. I hope you guys are showing up for yourselves, and I hope each and every one of you has a wonderful day. Peace.